I gotta admit, I'm pretty exhausted right now.
From what? All the running?
No.
That's all you do.
I haven't ran because of my ear thing.
Oh, yeah. What happened with that?
So this is I think it was last Thursday, I noticed like my ear was like, it felt clogged in the mornings. Like I couldn't hear as well. I was like, maybe that's like an earwax buildup or something like that, you know?
So
the usual. And then I went to the cottage on the weekend and it got worse. Like
Were you swimming?
Yeah, I was swimming.
Okay.
And it got worse. It was pretty bad. And then I think on Monday my ear started ringing and the other side of my face like started hurting. Like there was pressure.
But why that side of your face?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
It's all connected, isn't it?
They always tell you or something. Yeah. So I go to the ER that night. I messaged my doctor. He's like, this is probably something more serious.
You messaged your doctor?
Yeah, I telehealth. Text message your doctor.
What?
It's amazing.
When did that happen? I've never texted my doctor. I get texted every day.
My doctor, like, ever since I think we had Kai, we just like, is this normal? And we just text like a picture or text.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he just answers.
Keep that going.
Yeah, it's great. Love it.
That's like what they do in Sweden. They get on like Skype.
Yeah, you can do that here too. You can call like a nurse, and I found out you can actually go to a site and have a call with an actual doctor.
I just try to Google nothing and do not. If I'm feeling sick or anything like that, I just stay off the internet.
Yeah. It'll go away.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
Bad news.
Okay, so this didn't go away, and so my doctor's like, "Yeah, you should probably go." So I went to the ER that night, and they're like, "Yeah, you have an ear infection. It's a fungus."
What? How did you get that?
What is that?
What kind of water are you swimming in?
So that's both doctors. I went to the ear specialist after. He's like, "You were swimming in like a lake." I'm like, "Yeah, but it like started before that." So my theory is, like a couple weeks back, I think I sent you the video clip, right? When I was running out and it started pouring.
Yeah.
And I was just like drenched from head to toes. The best run of my life. But I broke my headphones. Actually, the headphones that we got from our Sweden trip. Remember, Ep10 Sound gave us like those Marshall headphones. I don't know if you remember.
No.
I only remember them because I've been using them for running. They're perfect. They broke, and then I was like, I need headphones. I like to listen to podcasts when I'm running. So I found these like older, like in-ear, like sports headphones that some company had sent me that I never used. Used those, ran for like 8 kilometers, sweating, all that.
In the rain?
And no, not rain, but sweating. It was really hot. And I think that's what did it. That's my theory. That's my theory.
So those headphones gave you a
do not buy those
ear
headphones. Well, but the doctor.
That's not going to be on the box.
The ear doctor said that apparently there's like fungus all over your skin and stuff like that all the time. This is coming from an ear specialist.
Are you sure you're texting a doctor?
No, this is in-person ear specialist.
Doesn't sound like he's texting a doctor.
This is the weirdest podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
We're talking about my ear fungus.
Listening. I'm just listening.
I just had to vent to somebody about my ear fungus, you know?
Either that or the lake you're swimming in needs to be checked.
No, the lake is clean. It's spring-fed, closed off.
Sure,
it's good. It's good. But then, they had to like spray stuff. And the weirdest part is they're like, so
it gets weirder.
They're spraying stuff. I'm like in vertigo, like I'm just like my head spinning in this.
Because that's where you're balancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
and it was super loud. It was terrible. And then this like, I don't know if he was a student or something. He comes in and the doctors start talking. He's like, I don't know if you've done this method, but like usually people use like this drug and cocaine in the ear. I'm like, sorry, cocaine?
Can we repeat
using
that?
Cocaine in my ear right now? Like,
actually?
He's like, I don't use that method. So I don't think I got the cocaine in my ear.
Oh, that's good to know.
I don't know if I was hearing things because
I really don't think you've been texting a doctor. Okay, I want to put that out there.
Wait, is this not normal?
I want to put that out there. I think you should just double check the number. Maybe FaceTime just to see who's on the other side.
All things said, I'm good. I think I'm good now. It's a little bit like weird still, but I think I'm good. I think the fungus is gone. There's no more shrooms in the ear.
What?
But anyways, that's not why I'm tired. Why I'm tired is because of the R5. Canon sprung the R5 on me on Monday. They're like, hey, I think it was Monday morning. They're like, hey, no, like earlier, like we might have one for you. They're like, hey, do you want the R5?
Hey, we're outside right now.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. And I was like, I mean, yes, but like I didn't plan for it. So just this whole week has been R5. Yeah, what else could I?
Dude, the whole internet has just been R5.
Oh, it has.
And then everyone's just crying about it.
Yeah, you've gotten some good
Oh yeah.
What do you even call that?
I don't know. They're trying to spank me about it.
Yeah.
It's super, I don't know.
Did you make that camera?
Yeah, apparently I manufactured the R5.
You're an engineer, right?
I caused the overheating.
It was your idea to have it overheat.
And I thought while I was making it overheat, I thought, you know what? I'm going to throw some wobble in here.
Yeah, wobble would
good
be
measure.
good. While it's overheating,
Yeah.
let's have a little wobble.
Yeah, why not? Let's just get some Johnny Wobbles in here.
I love, okay, so about a year and a half ago, I think it was around the time that EOS R came out, I was talking about like my dream camera.
Yeah, you've been talking about that dream
Yeah,
camera as long
what
as
my
I've known
dream camera would be. And then this comes out, and it is more than what I listed in my dream camera. It is literally all of the specs, the 4K 120, the C-Log, all of the things, and 8K. I never wished for that. I think it's a little overkill, but I mean, you could use that camera for like the next 5 years probably, and you'd be fine. And then that comes out, and from Canon, out of all companies, usually they're a little bit more reserved. And everybody is up in arms about like the most random things.
Yeah.
I'm like, what world am I living in?
I've always thought, to just preface this, I've always thought that the people that complain about cameras are not the people out there actually making things.
100%.
They're not out there making a living. They're not out there actually using their equipment.
Yeah.
They're the people that buy gear and, I don't know, talk about it on the internet.
They're gearheads that can't necessarily even afford to or have the reason to use those pieces of gear.
Yes.
And they just want to talk about them.
I'm sure there are also people out there who do buy gear and complain about it because it's not fulfilling their needs professionally.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. But those people, I believe, are fewer and far between the opposite.
Yeah.
So when I went to Canon USA, like right before COVID got like super spooky, it was like, is it coming? Are we? And
Is this a big thing?
I think it was like March 1st. I flew to New York.
Right.
With Holiday, we went to visit Canon USA and stuff, and they
flew in March, eh?
Flew March 1st.
That sounds scary
Yeah,
now.
it was like March 1st, and I was like, oh, and it was like the airports were packed. Everyone,
Really?
Yeah, people were like hand sanitizing, but no one was. It hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
it was on its way. It was imminent. It was like the clouds are dark.
Yeah.
but like I don't see drops yet.
Yeah.
Drops is a good pun, I guess, right now. It's good and bad. We'll continue. We'll just move on from that.
Yeah, we'll just keep going.
So we sat down as at this big board table, and then the guy comes out and starts talking about the R5, and I'm like, all right, so show it to me. Like it was the pre-production, the only one in the world other than like HQ in Japan. And they started going through the stats. Like, all right, so 8K. I'm like, all right, is there a crop? And they're like, nope. I was like, okay.
There's like some sort of.
Is it log? Yep. Autofocus? Yep. RAW? Yep. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What?
Okay. You've got my attention.
Yeah.
I'm like 4K 24, no crop on 4K? Nope. I'm like, oh, 4K 120? And they're like, yep. I'm like, with autofocus? Yep. C-Log? Yep. And I was like, oh, what have you
just
done?
hitting all the points.
You guys are just going to destroy every other camera you made yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, why would you buy anything else?
Yeah.
2 card slots? Yep. Like better battery life? Yep. And they just kept going like 45 megapixels, is it? 46,
like that.
48, 45?
Too many
Can we
for
Google
me.
that?
Yeah.
It's been, here's the site right here. 40, there's
I feel
lots.
like we
there's
should know
lots.
this. We should know this.
I
Probably.
should know this. I made the camera
Yeah,
in
that
my
is
basement.
True. Why did you decide?
The R5 plant is downstairs.
It's really
You should come
impressive
by and
that
take
you're
a
able to
look.
do that in your basement. Very impressed.
There's some overheating issues down there.
I can understand that.
Gets a little hot. Wait a minute, maybe that.
Wait a second.
So, okay, either way, whatever. There's lots of megapixels.
Yeah.
It's
than
a
you
great camera. So like for photography, because like we've talked about this before, when it comes down to photo and video, I actually prefer photography.
Yep.
I'm a photographer first.
You are.
So all of like the fast frames per second, like the crazy electronic speed shooting, like that, like the silent modes, and that's super enticing to me. All the focus points, the eye focus, animal focus, like all this stuff that's just cool that makes photography incredible. Which I feel like also is forgotten about right now because there's only one singular topic that people are concerned about.
Yeah.
I think you said it well though in your vlog yesterday. You're like, if they had come out and said, hey, so because there's no fan in this and it's a mirrorless camera, we're going to give you like bursts of 8K. So you probably use it for about like 8 minutes and then you'll have to like, I think people would have been like, okay, sick.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Apple. We were just talking about their XDR monitor before we started. And it's like the same thing as like, hey, buy this monitor for $5,000, but if you want to put it on a stand, then you have to buy the $6,000 or the extra $1,000 stand or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus saying like, what's the other way to go about that? So like you buy the monitor, but you'll also need to buy the stand. That's annoying to people. Versus just saying, here's the monitor and the stand, they're separate. Or
here's
just
this
wording
monitor
it
for this
differently.
price.
Yeah.
And then kind of leaving out or like later on. And that's exactly what I said. It's like if Canon would have been like, and we're going to give you guys 8K raw. It's in 5-minute bursts, but you're getting 8K raw. I think everybody would have been like, that is insane.
And here's why it's in 5-minute bursts.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people that don't like you complain that it overheats and like, does that suck? Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to be stopped shooting because it's
Everybody
overheating.
wants a perfect camera.
But if you don't want it to overheat, buy a cinema camera.
Yeah.
Because why? They have huge fans in them.
Yeah.
Why are cinema cameras so big and heavy? Because they don't have those issues.
Yeah.
Because all the tech is built in to prevent those issues, thus being huge cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, I don't want it to be that big. Okay, well then buy the R5. But it overheats.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, go like learn soccer.
Yeah.
Join a sports team or something. I don't know. Get out of here.
I think that's the thing is that like most legit people, like going back to what you're saying earlier, understand that no camera is perfect.
Yeah.
Every camera nowadays is good, in my opinion, like really good. Like,
Absolutely.
They're insane.
I don't believe there's a bad camera.
Yeah, every camera.
Except for a GoPro. But
Ouch. Agreed. I don't
they just
use
never
GoPros
look good
anymore.
for me. Yeah. I'm sure everyone who works there is lovely.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, either send help or make a better camera.
Or sorry. But every camera nowadays is good. It's for a specific purpose. And I think it's kind of interesting with the R5. Like, I think in general, Canon is more focused on the photography always. And then they've given us some good video features also.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to like, the R5 to me is more of a photo camera, but it has incredible video features. It's like a hybrid. So it's like almost, it's the best of both worlds in a way. But the presentation, and maybe it's just people talking, people are starting to talk way more about video features nowadays than photo features. And so that it makes it seem like it's a video camera.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a photo camera that also does video, and it just happens to do it very, very well.
Yeah.
Does it have downsides because it's 45 megapixels and all that, and then you're trying to do video with that? Yeah, of course. Like, no camera's perfect. It's just not like, that's just how it is.
And I haven't even used I just got the production unit yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you a picture of the boxes.
Yeah.
And I haven't even opened them yet. So I haven't even you've used the newer version camera before me.
Yeah. No.
So I think everyone obviously looks to me because I've had it for months. I got it, like I saw it in March. Like I had it in a thumbnail of a video.
Yeah.
I've had it for months and I've been using it. And now, mind you, when I got it too, we were in like the thick of lockdown.
You had a hard job, like trying to come up with anything.
And this was when it was like, Donnie, like I'm spooked to even just go to my car.
Yeah,
and it's just weird to go outside. And they wanted this launch video, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to make by myself? Because like I had no employees at the office. Like Kirk wasn't there. So it was just me with this camera trying to figure out what to film inside. So it wasn't like an easy task, but I think we pulled it off. I think it looks great. I'm super happy with that video. I legit
think it. So not to knock on the people that have worked on past stuff, but like I feel like camera promo videos are terrible usually. Like just terrible. Like
usually the same.
Yeah, they're just not good in my opinion. Like they should be getting legit like industry filmmakers to test out the cameras. Or in this case, I think it makes a lot of sense to have somebody like you who is going to use this camera a lot and has been using Canon, this style cam. Like if you give the R5 to like a Hollywood DP, I bet you the stuff they would have come up with probably wouldn't have been that good because they're not used to using cameras like this. Yeah. And we know kind of like the ins and outs of using these cameras.
I want to see cameras. How other people like me would use it. Yeah. Like what's the kind of things they would film and where would they find themselves?
Yeah.
And
I honestly think it was one of the best, if not the best, camera promo video. That's not like friend bias. I think that's legit. If I would have like before YouTube days, before I knew, if I would have seen that, I'd be like, this is insane. This camera is so good. Whereas normally I'm watching the promo video. I'm like, the specs look good, but like I can't tell by this footage whether this is good or not.
Why is this person dancing in the salt flats with
it's always some like colorful dress in the middle of nowhere dancing. It's like I wouldn't normally film this kind of stuff, so I'm not sure. Like, Yeah, it's always the same
Here's what's
stuff.
funny though. So I'm paid by Canon. You're not.
Yeah.
But we have both made that abundantly clear in our videos. I think on the R5 launch video, the very first one to come out, which was like hands-on look at the R5.
Yeah.
I had the first video because I had it months before.
Yeah.
I started that video saying, I'm paid by Canon.
Yeah.
I'm a Canon ambassador.
Yeah.
They're paying me to make this video.
Which is totally fine.
So
There's tons of people
this is how I make a living. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch this video or buy the camera.
Yep.
So I put that at the beginning so everyone would have context. Okay. So like if I'm raving and ranting about this camera, know also that I'm paid. I'm not going to come out and bash the camera.
Yeah.
Because like I can't even do that.
Yeah.
Like that's just marketing, that's advertising, that's contracts. Like we're all human beings. We understand this.
Yeah.
But I think people think that I was trying to sweep the overheating under the rug and be like, it's not a big issue. But I want to remind everyone,
you actually talked about it.
The first person to bring up the overheating issue at all, ever, was me on a paid Canon video.
On like the launch of the, on the launch camera, video. You're talking about a negative, which never happens. Never.
Yeah. And that was a decision I made because it was overheating on me.
Yeah.
And I've been open about it and honest about it. And in my experiences, you saw a lot of quad stuff out there. It was June, hot outside, quads, forest.
Yeah.
It overheated. It overheated in 4K 120.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't shoot any. I shot a little bit of 8K out there. It overheated several times.
Yeah.
And then you saw the vlog following that, which was like the actual quad day.
Mm-hmm.
I've even got an excerpt there where I say like, it was overheating, but other than that, like it looked good, but I had to stop a few times because it got hot.
Yeah.
So like I have not shied away from it. I also noticed the wobbling after you noticed it.
Yeah.
You were like, yo, dude, check out that wobble. I was like, oh wow, why is that happening? And you explained it.
Yeah. And it's because of past experience. Like every really powerful IBIS wobbles. You check out the GH5s, the Olympuses, whatever camera has a strong IBIS, it wobbles. And so that's why I was like, just know that you're going to put it on 15.
And I didn't know that.
And it's going to wobble. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, because I've never used a camera with IBIS.
Yeah. Other than the Olympus.
Rest in peace. Yeah. Look what happened to them. Yeah. So I made that vlog, and then I even noticed the wobble in that quad vlog. So I stopped it and set up a new angle to address it in studio and be like, wow, you guys see that? You guys see that wobble? You can probably cut that in at some point here.
Yeah.
And then we went back to the vlog because I just wanted people to know, like, hey, I'm not trying to come out here saying this camera's perfect. Let's just let's ignore everything that everyone's talking about. Like, overheating is a big issue, and I hope it doesn't affect my use of the camera moving forward. And for everyone that's like, well, obviously he's going to tell you to buy the camera, and it's great, but like literally, if that's going to affect your workflow, don't buy it.
Yeah.
If overheating is going to actually affect your shooting process, go buy something that doesn't
wrong
overheat.
Camera for you.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Here's a Canon ambassador telling you, don't buy the R5 if that's going to be a problem for you. I don't know if it's going to be a problem for me yet because, like I just said, I haven't even used the production model.
Yeah.
Right? You've used it more than I have.
Yeah.
So you would even know at this point if it's going to be a problem more than I would.
Yeah. I could see it being a problem sometimes for me. But most of the time it hasn't been. It's only when I'm like, we need to shoot a ton of B-roll right now, one after one, and then I get it overheating, and then we have to wait for
that would be a problem. Yeah.
That's annoying.
Because like I'll say when we were shooting that quad stuff, it got so hot because I was shooting 120. I think I got about 20 minutes, 4K 120. 20 minutes solid, then it overheated.
Yeah.
I waited like 30 minutes and then it was still too hot.
Yeah.
And I did lose shots of this pro rider who was about to bomb some huge jumps.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get them.
Yeah.
I mean, I could shoot in 4K 24. But then 4K 60 started overheating as well because I maxed that out. Because my 120 was gone.
Yeah.
So then it is
nice
frustrating.
That you can always go back to the 4K 24 at least. Like you can still film always if you need to.
Yeah.
You just don't have all the other options. But like I think that's the one cool thing about somebody like you is like because you have your own platform, you like I think people think that just because you're paid by Canon that they tell you exactly what to say.
Yeah.
And that is not true.
No.
Like from my experience and that's not true. If it was true, they would have never let you talk about the overheating or the wobble or anything negative.
So I'll be upfront right now. The only changes they had me make to that first look at the R5 was I had some like incorrect specs about the battery life.
Yeah.
I think I said in my original, because when we were talking months ago, I guess they must have changed it or something, but I said like the batteries apparently use the camera more efficiently, so it's not better battery life, but they just function better to optimize. And they were like, it's actually 14% better battery life. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was like, I think that was that.
Yeah.
And it was just make sure that R5 pre-production was put in front of everything so that they knew it wasn't the final version.
Yeah.
They were just adamant. And then they're like, and then just, everything looks good. Send it.
And if it was anybody else without a platform, without that, that, I guess, power or say in this kind of space, they would have done exactly what Canon wanted them to say. Like it would have been a script. It literally would have been a script that they read. Like, here's what you're going to say. And this way you actually get to use it and like talk about it and even talk about some of the negative stuff.
They've always been good with me with that. I've always been like, hey, listen, like if this bothers me as a user and I think this is going to be a problem, or I don't like that, or like, it's great quality, but this crop makes it unusable for me vlogging because I don't want to vlog my nose.
Yeah.
They've been like, I mean, well, like, I'm sure they don't like it. I'm sure they're like, well, that sucks because, you've got a lot of followers and a lot of people are going to listen to that advice. But I think they also understand like, well, we're not going to make them say it's good. Yeah. And I wouldn't. Like I have integrity.
Yeah.
If they were like, hey, you cannot talk about the overheating.
Yeah.
If they called me up the day before, I would have called Holiday. I would have been like, yo, we got a big problem here.
Yeah.
Because this thing is doing this.
Yeah.
And I put it in the video because it's important that people know that. And they don't want me to say anything about it at all. And I don't feel good about that. I don't feel right about that.
Yeah.
So.
But man, people do not understand how hard it is to like review or talk about. Like, I think people think it's like really easy. Like they just send you stuff and you just like, it just happens.
Hard. Yeah.
It's so hard. Like not only.
Especially camera bodies.
Yeah. Because like cameras are like, I always equate it to like, it's like talking about your children. So if you say like, your Sony sucks or your whatever sucks. It's like calling. It's like saying somebody's kid sucks and they get so mad.
They get so mad.
It's so mad. Yeah. And so like talking about this, it's really, really sensitive. But then there's also like, I think both of us put a lot of pressure on ourselves that like we want to cover as much as we possibly can about the camera, for example. And like, we don't want to miss things. We want to, and then there's also the pressure that possibly like for you, millions of people are going to see this. So it's like this, you have like this audience is insane and you're putting out all this information and you are potentially causing thousands of people to buy this camera and spend a lot of money on these cameras. And so like we have like this like pressure to like
responsibility.
Yeah. And responsibility to be as honest as possible. And what I mean by that is there's things that we just like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's where that's where the joke comes in, where it's like, guys, I didn't make the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the first one to review it, and yes, you saw a lot of content from me, but like I didn't make it.
Yeah, then you have some guys who will spend hours testing every little thing and pixel peeping, and they're like, oh, actually, this thing. And it's like, oh, I didn't know.
I didn't know that. And that's cool. Like that kind of content is great. Like Gerald will probably. I think he's doing that right now. I was just thinking
about Gerald. Yeah,
I saw a bunch of stories of him plugging it in, doing all kinds of tests, and that's good because I think we need those types of reviewers.
Yep.
That's not me.
That's not me either.
You're gonna see how I would use it.
Yeah.
You're gonna see how I would just pick it up, turn it on, and do what I do. That's gotten me to where I am.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do what he does to get him where he got.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say like you're like full artist. You just care about like. What can I do with this? You don't care about the specs as much and the pixel peeping. I'm like somewhere in between. I want to understand more so that at least in theory, I would be able to use it better. Maybe teach you a few things that like maybe use it better.
Usually what happens. I'm like, what the hell does this setting do? And you're like, oh, dude, you don't use that? I'm like, I don't even know what it says.
I just changed your picture profile. I'm like, I think you're gonna like this picture profile a little bit better on the.
And what did I say?
And you're like, do whatever makes it.
I don't care. Yeah. You're like, just so you know, if you want to change it back, I'm like, nah, I really don't care.
Okay, yeah. And I'm like halfway. Like I mostly like I want to film some like B-roll that looks cool and like I want to see what it can do. But I also care a little bit more about the specs than you do, I think. And then Gerald Undone, for example, is like I feel like he's like just pure specs.
I don't even want to make things. I just want specs.
I don't even want to actually film with it. I just want to know what it can do. Like, you know, like it's like almost that.
But
angle.
I think that's why I said it in a few of the comments. I was like, listen, like anyone that just bases their opinion to spend that much money, because it's an expensive camera.
Yeah, it is.
Like you're not joking around here.
Yeah.
Anyone that would just base their decision to buy it solely off my review, I'm flattered. But I would say, do your due diligence.
I would say you're an idiot.
And watch.
No offense to you.
No.
But like, I feel like my dad taught me, like this would literally happen when I was a kid. I would want something. We would go to the store. We would look at it. And then we would go home. We wouldn't even buy, like I was like pretty sure, like 90% sure that this is what I'm gonna buy. And my dad would be like, let's go home. Like, let's go do a little bit more research, see if there's any other better like options or like whatever, you know.
I want it now.
Yeah, and I was like, no, like I just want to buy it now. And I think that's the same thing. Like you're dumb if you just watch one video and like, oh, I'm gonna buy it.
But that's where I think it comes, like Gerald's place is needed, and your opinion's needed, and my opinion's needed, and all these people that are on YouTube doing it, they're all coming at it from a different angle, and all those angles are important to consider. Because everyone has a different use.
Yep.
And that's where it circles right back to like a different cameras for different people, for different types of filming, for different projects, for different parts of the world, it all comes into play. And one camera will not be perfect for everyone. No camera will be perfect for everyone.
No. Probably never.
And, yeah.
I think our expectations just keep going up. Like these specs, if we would have got these specs a year ago, it would be like, this is stupid. Like, this is crazy.
Shoot it in 12K. I'm like, why? My computer can't even handle my drone footage.
Yeah, it's just like escalating so fast that our like, 13 stops dynamic range? I want 25. Like, you know, it's like, what?
And I get a lot of flack too. Like, well, why don't you ever mention Sony? Or I'm a Canon ambassador. Like, I can't come out and endorse Sony.
Yeah.
But that's not me saying they make bad cameras at all. Like, if that's an option for you, and that financially works and it has the specs that you want, do it.
Yeah.
For sure, do it. Like, they don't make bad cameras.
No one makes bad cameras. Like we said, all cameras are good. And I think that's the difference between us is that like I'm a little bit more of a tech gearhead. So that's why I like trying the different cameras. And that's why I haven't signed with any one camera company, because I just want to try them out for fun.
And you try them and let me know what's good. But that's also where like our content there's a very, very clear line in it. I've always gone the route of just saying, hey, I'm going to teach stuff that can be done with any camera. I'm going to leave the reviews of all of the cameras to other people. Like, so I don't really care about what camera does what. I'm just going to teach you the things that can be done with cameras in general. So this is how you can get a photo like this. Every camera pretty much does that. This is how you can get B-roll that looks like this. You're going to need these specs in a camera. What you end up buying to do it, I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just trying to share my knowledge so that you can do it with whatever you buy. That's it.
And like, I just don't understand. Like, going back to the photography, for example, on the R5, yesterday, I just showed you the picture. That's a big. I feel like your water bottles just keep getting bigger. Again, if you're listening only, I don't know how big this water bottle is, but it's way more gigantic than I've ever. How do you even carry that around?
Oh, with this strap here. I fill it up. I try to at least one a day. If I can get two in, then I'm laughing.
The joke was before this, he's like, I try to do 2 a day every day. And I'm like, is this like, have you done this before? Is this the first day you're trying that? You sounded like,
have you pulled it off?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember that big Yeti thing they used to carry around?
Yeah, that was the
I
other
still
one.
carry it around because
this one's bigger, right?
They're the same size, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the other one's like wider. But I remember, I think I was doing it in a video before. I'm like, you drink one of these a day. I'm like, I've yet to do it. But I know it can be done.
That's exactly it. Anyways, I was showing you the photo that I took last night, and it was literally, you'll see it in my review, a handheld photo of like the Toronto skyline and water at night. I did it for 5 seconds handheld, and it still looks pretty sharp.
Oh, you could throw that on Instagram.
Yeah, nobody would.
People would be just double tapping all day.
And literally handheld, like think about it, that's handheld, shutters open, 1 second. 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
And it's those types of things that get overshadowed by an issue, a wobble, right? So everyone will be like, oh, forget everything else that it's good at. forget all like the crazy burst modes and the IBIS that can let you hand hold a photo at night without a tripod for 5 seconds and it's usable.
That's the thing is, how did IBIS become a negative?
Yeah.
People have always wanted IBIS, and now you get IBIS and like, IBIS sucks.
And
we don't want IBIS. It's like, wait, what? I'm confused.
Can you shut it off? Because I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, I think so. Now, like I thought at first you couldn't, because I saw other cameras you can always shut it off, but I think you can now. They have that on the lens option. Like if it has
It'd be
IS,
nice
you
if you
change it
could.
off, and then in the settings. So I think you can shut it off also. So like you have it at your like if you need to use it, which is really great sometimes for IBIS.
There's a lot of photography purposes for that. That would be great. Like when you're whip panning like a car going by, you want like the light trails, and you want like you're in a car hanging out the back of a truck or something. You're trying to get some shots of another car that's in focus, but everything's blurry. Like those types of things are just made so much easier.
200 mil, and you're trying to get something way out there. It's hard to keep it
trying
stable.
to get a woodpecker. You're like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like IBIS is incredible. Even like when we're filming like some of our B-roll stuff, it's so good. There just happens to be when you're vlogging at a really wide lens and you have it, IBIS can be bad. That's it.
Do you watch Armando's channel?
Yeah, sometimes.
Mondo Bites?
Is that what
Is that his name on Instagram? Mondo Bites? Or
I don't even know.
what's his last name? I can't pronounce it. What is it? Fiera?
I'm
that like a
terrible
chef?
with names.
Isn't that a chef? Guy Fiera or something?
terrible with
Ferreira?
names.
He's a super nice guy. He's a great guy. I love his channel. Mondo Bites, there it is on his channel. I knew I saw that somewhere. I love his lighting. This guy's great. If you guys are listening and you haven't checked out Armando, hop on there. Literally just type it in. You'll find him. Subscribe to this guy. He's awesome.
Did he pay you to say all this?
Yeah, he paid me to.
Are you
for
paid
sure.
by Armando?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Well,
that's
I'm
what I
paid by Mondo Bites, which is like his business, and yeah. Okay, all of that now. I don't remember what I was going to say about him. Oh, he pointed something out in the R5 that I didn't even realize. You remember with the R where you would flip the LCD and it would hit the headphone jack?
Yes.
They've moved it.
Yeah,
So now you can flip the LCD and you don't
Yeah.
have to do that dumb little pivot.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that while I was using it.
Yeah.
I guess because it just worked.
Yeah, it's just sometimes
I
things
didn't
just
think
work.
about it.
Yeah.
But then I watched his, I think he had it on an Instagram story. And he was like, guys, check this. Or it was a Twitter post or something. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah. It's just those
Little
little things.
shout out to Mondo Bites there.
Again, like I made a whole video. This was before I even had the R5 in my hand. Like I was just like if you're complaining nowadays about gear, you literally suck. Like you're not good. That's like, and I don't say that kind of stuff often.
Yeah, that's not, yeah.
That and people are freaking out like, oh, Maddie's bringing.
Maddie's dropping.
Yeah, like
dropping heat.
I said, you suck. But that's the truth. Like if you're complaining that you can't do something with the gear that we have nowadays, you suck. Like that's plain and simple. You just need to get a little bit better. Like stop complaining, practice a little bit more. Because if you're not making it happen right now, and people were making it happen 5 years ago with the stuff that they had then.
Well, like let's go back to when we were using like an HVX 200 Panasonic camera with a P2 card.
Yeah.
You're going to get a 16 gig P2 card. I think cost me $1,300.
Yeah.
You're going to get that Brevis adapter, which goes on the end of your HVX, which then is like an inverted PVC pipe mirrored garbage looking tube.
Most people have no idea what the heck you're talking about right now.
But now because you got a Brevis adapter on there, you need rails. So now you throw rails on your HVX with your adapter,
And how
now
big
you
did
get
it,
your
like, end up now?
now you get your EF lens on there,
Yeah.
right? Get a battery on the back.
And you're filming in like 480p or something.
Yeah, and you're filming in like
Just
720 and
yeah.
you think life's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're
This
out
is
there
so sharp. This
in
is
the
crazy.
forest. Right? Like that's, and we were doing it then.
Yeah. And now we got these little cameras that are incredible. And like people are complaining. And I think it's always going to be.
Yeah. I mean, look how small they are. They're so small.
Yeah. It's crazy.
They're so small and there's so much packed into it.
And also like, okay, the R5 costs a lot of money, but to get 8K like 5 years ago or 6K even
Raw.
5 years ago, raw, you'd have to pay like $100,000 or something like that in total to get that.
Yeah.
And now you get it for 4 or 5, whatever it is.
And the dynamic range on it looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they're adding I don't know. I think this is on Canon rumors. I don't.
C-Log
This is
3?
not official. C-Log 3, yeah, on
That'd be
there.
great.
That would be really nice because
That's
then you
what
get
I
a little
shoot
bit
my-
more. Yeah, that's what we
all
use
like
on
my
the
desk stuff.
cinema cameras.
Yeah,
But
500. Yeah.
yeah, that's the 500. Yeah. But all that to say, I'm exhausted. R5
Yeah.
is exhausting me.
I like so.
And all that we're gonna get so many people are like, you guys are idiots for saying the R5 is good, and you like, and we say this about I say this about every camera that is good. You're an idiot, just like with the EOS R when it came out. Like, how could you say this?
In a year from now,
In a year from now, everybody's gonna be using it. And be like, this is the best camera. ever.
R5 a year later, why it's the best camera that everyone should own.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey guys, can I just
Remember that time when you guys?
can we just rewind?
Just no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't
But
worry
like
about it.
dude, like the footage too was so hard to edit with because I had it months ago.
Yep.
So Premiere couldn't even handle
Even
it.
now, I spent 2 hours trying to figure out in Premiere,
Yeah.
and then I just plopped it in Final Cut and it worked.
And
right away.
I
was
don't
like-
use Final Cut,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Like I wish I still used
I
it
only
sometimes.
started kind of using it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So using the beta version that updates every day,
It's
then
a
you have to go
nightmare.
back to the. So
Yeah.
we were having, no joke, like no exaggeration, we were getting about 20 to 30 crashes a day.
Yep.
And the beta would crash Premiere, but it wouldn't just crash it; it would just power off the Mac Pro.
Oh, that's
So it was like someone
perfect.
yanked the cord from the wall about 3 times a day.
It's a normal.
So like,
editing
yeah,
bug.
dude, like every time I'd walk by Kirk's office, he was just sitting there with everything
Kirk,
off.
can you do something for
And
once?
I was like, crash? He's like, yup. So he's just so enamored that like, he's like, I'm done with the R5 until it's like
Yeah,
streamlined in
yeah.
Adobe software. Like I just,
Again,
until they figured it out, he's
Yeah.
like, can we please just not use it?
and that's not a Canon issue. That's the editing
Adobe,
progress.
yeah.
But like,
Same with Lightroom, right? Like the CR3 files
Yeah,
like
they don't
won't
work,
show
yeah.
up yet. And
Yeah.
you got to use that software that looks like it's, from 94.
Yeah.
Like NHL 94 days. Do you remember that game? Do you guys remember on Sega? I played that.
Great game.
I got so good at NHL 94. I'm talking like 56 goals to 2 against the computer. Like it wasn't even fun at the end. Look how blue the ice was. Why is blue that ice? Do you remember what the guys sounded like when they would body check? Like, like something like
you know
that.
what's the best? Looking at old video games.
Look at that.
Every time when you're like, in your mind, you remember the graphics to be so realistic and good, and then you look at this and you're like,
Oh, I remember it looking like
this
this.
is like pixel mush. No, but like I think of like GoldenEye and 64. Did you ever
Oh,
play
yeah.
that?
Yeah,
In my
yeah.
mind, it's like that was such good graphics.
I
And then
swear
see it,
Odd
it's just-
Jobs hat looked way better.
I swear it wasn't 4 pixels.
Yeah. Dude, NHL 94 was just bam, ba-dam, bam, 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 ba-dam, bam, bam, ba-dam. Is that if that's the theme song, and I remembered that from way
Oh,
back.
this is GoldenEye.
But just do me the solid of putting that in there to see if I actually have the N94.
Oh, so many
theme.
memories. So many good memories.
Yeah.
Times were simpler. Times
Yeah.
were simpler back then.
Yeah, they most certainly were. Tell me I got that intro. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Right?
That's like exactly what you're.
Is that should we end it on this theme?
I am exhausted.
Let's
so
do it.
yeah, let's
Peace.
let's